not the video I wanted to make. Well, it's happened. It's been 3 horrible days and 3 nights, and I've heard one detonation, like a distant cough. Food's running low. Cats ate the chickens. Now the cats are looking at me like I'm a cat biscuit, and I'm starting to wonder, am I a cat biscuit? It all needs to be rebuilt. I don't know that I'm up for it. It's not what I expected. Not what it's been months of waiting. Yeah. Fascinating looking box have arrived. That's a big box compared with my other engines. It's like somebody has sent me a gorilla packed in this box. Oh no, luckily there is an engine underneath there somewhere. I can already smell the smell of diesel. And there it is. I'll unwrap it. I've waited a long time for this. It's good to see it. Okay, so far I'm liking it. Assembly looks neat. Pipes look neat, nicely bent. Flywheel casting's pretty rough on this one, and other bits. Okay, here we are. First look, pretty from a distance. Nice colour, beautiful base as you can see in the sun. Not the cast conrod I was expecting, which is a shame, and also I've never seen such a bad casting, which is a shame, but it shouldn't affect the function. We've got a tiny bit of almost rust on 1 or 2 steel parts. The engine feels very tight, probably too tight, but I haven't oiled it up yet. It's obviously been tested. You can see that this is fitting well, and it's actually driving the rod back and forth there. This is our governor. Puts a wedge to change the amount that the injector injects diesel. I'm undecided as to whether I'll try this on diesel or kerosene, as Find Hansen says use kerosene. It's cleaner. I need to tighten everything up, check that everything's tight, and sort of tweak everything up as well as I can, do a lot of lubrication.
关于润滑
That's really helpful. How about reading it in English?
Oh,
That's going to be trickier?
yeah. This is for smooth. Jones, please put oil smoother.
And this is why we check for tightness. Literally the first nut I looked at. Yeah, so very worthwhile in checking tightness of everything. Good, happy with that. Right, just gonna check this massive flywheel bolt. Yeah, it's real tight. Not gonna worry about that. Right, let's have a look at this loose thing here. If I tighten that up, it's all going to go. That's nice. It's very slightly off center. I'm just going to fix that. You actually need to put some shims or washers under there, but hardly anything. So I think I'm going to use a little bit of, I'll see if I've got some brass foil or aluminium foil. Probably the aluminium. I'll see if I've got any brass foil. We're going to use the copper, I think. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a little bit tied up. So better check all of those little cams are done up tight because they could come loose. Now they might not be timed right at the moment, but geez, they better be because that's not going to be easy to do. To get them right, but we'll start off assuming they're correct and just get them tight. Pretty much checked all the screws and nuts and bolts and things. Okay, I can feel, I've been trying to start this, I can feel a bit of heat here, so I might have this too tight, so I'm just going to undo that very slightly. And we'll see if it's got enough power to run now. It's nearly running. It's the next day and I'm going to try and get this going today. My first run wasn't that successful. As my subscriber who has this engine told me, there is a weakness in the connection here, and that's come loose on my engine, as you can see. So I've got to fix that. I can also see a leak here from the injector connection here to the oil pump. Oil pump is not leaking, but we have leaks here and here. So I've taken the coolant out. I've cracked open one of my glass syringes, which I'm going to take the oil out of there with, and then we're going to find some, I'll shut myself a new tube of silicone and we'll get that correct and that correct. Now, why isn't it going? After thinking about it, it's pretty obvious. If I look in here, we've had no diesel come out, despite all the rotations I've given this. So that means no diesel is coming in. The injector has a pressure valve, and the pressure has to get high enough to crack open that valve to squirt. The injector is pumping diesel fuel into here, but there's an air bubble in there. That will just compress the air bubble. It's still not high enough for this to pop open, and then it can just flow back into the pump or something. So clearly we've still got air. I hope it's as simple as just having air in this tube here. I did crack that open and try and get the air out, but I think I need to do a better job of that. It's giving me an opportunity to fix up these leaks and tighten up that. Okay, so that's our plan for today.
So who would have thought their dear wife is a diesel mechanic, and that the three things that this specifically states are: if you have problem with the water pump, how to take it apart. It's a single spring ball valve. It's saying use proper coolant rather than water, otherwise that ball will rust there. It's saying the other problem you could have is with the injector, take it apart from the bottom. I'm having that problem. Didn't have this problem. And it's saying ensure that everything works smoothly. Well, that's actually hard to do without taking this off and taking this off, because you think that this is not running smoothly because of the valve, because these are really heavy springs. So that's what we assumed. But we need this to run smoothly. So that's the next thing I'll be working on. And then I will tackle this. He says there might be air in there. Well, how the hell am I going to get that out? I mean, it pumps, it just doesn't pump at high pressure. So still don't know if I'm going to be able to get this going. But it's interesting that he does say, you know, we've tested everything. It doesn't say whether before assembly or after assembly. But he does say check for leaks. You know, they haven't spent the time that you and I would spend sealing each of these things and checking. And considering that takes a couple of days, well, you can't really, can you? I mean, not without extra difficulty and cost. Do you guys want to pay, you know, 50% more for this? Have it working properly? Some of you might. But that's not generally the way that Chinese ready-to-run model engineering works. I don't generally start a video on one of these Chinese engines until I get it going, and I can show you the engine going. For the first time, I'm facing the fact that I might want to send this one back. I can fix this. I can drill a hole right through the shaft and put a pin in that. I can do that, although I know this has got out of time. I think it's back in time. You can time it based on the valves opening and closing. I've taken this off and filed and ground the back of it so that the shaft is not bent, but we've still got, I think, this helical gear here is locking up. When we look at this, you expect it all to be manufactured to within better tolerances, I'm guessing, than that. A design that I don't know how good it is because it hasn't run yet, but being let down by execution a bit. I'm going to have another crack at it today, see what I can achieve. I don't really want to drill a hole through this shaft, let alone the difficulty of doing that, if that's going to get me to a point where I can't return the engine because I mean, I don't know how you can say anyway that you voided the warranty by working on one of these, because you absolutely have to work on one. There's no, you know, you don't get any. This is like 5 years ago with Chinese engines. They're a kit, they're assembled, may have been tested under some circumstances, but it certainly hadn't been assembled, filled up and run for a while. So yeah, an untested assembled kit that you need to figure out everything yourself, and heaven help you if something's not perfect, which given the quality of it, yeah, that's where we're at. Not the video I wanted to make. The other problem with this is, can you see that wedge is supposed to be coming out at an angle that actually reduces, but it's actually pressing down further, because this needs to be down further. Possibly the wedge needs to have a different shape. There's two ways you could come at this. You could take a piece out of the wedge where it's impacting on this thing here, or you could straighten out this bit a bit and have the wedge down lower. I think maybe both of those might be necessary. Otherwise the engine's going to run away on you, which I think has been, my subscriber says that's what's happening to him. He's adjusted the shape of the wedge there. Once it gets out to there, it's more, so that's a problem. I feel like if I can get this going, it'll be a fucking miracle. But on the other hand, how pleased will I be if I can? Because it'll be totally mine, because I will have adjusted and tweaked so many things. So I should probably keep trying. And if the injector totally doesn't work, maybe that's the only bit I should get replaced, rather than sending the whole thing back. The other thing about this is, the engineer who made it expects you to be able to take all these things apart and adjust bits and pieces. Well, you know, I had to make this. I mean, not completely, it's a Toyota one, but to get that to fit into there, you know, I needed to grind that down. Not everybody's going to have this stuff lying around. Definitely for advanced players, as the Chinese will say on their hobby websites. The other thing about my amazing diesel mechanic Chinese translating wife is that not only does she work 100 hours a week and make enough money for me to buy these things, she, you know, starts businesses and then, like mine, does successfully and she starts another one. Clever girl. She also doesn't mind me engineering these in the kitchen. What a woman. Oh, that doesn't want to come out. Is there a pin in there? Surely not. Grub screw. I mean, there's yeah, there might be a grub screw in there. It's unnecessary, I would say. And just yet another pain in the ass for me. Yeah, there is. Okay. And again, because there's a grub screw, you can't get that out because it's deformed the metal. So everywhere there's a grub screw, there's a problem. That really doesn't need to be there. Maybe it stops it wiggling as much as it would otherwise, but yeah. Okay, it's coming. Absolutely wrecked. A thread in there on both this one and the other one. So, got to get that on the flat and drill a hole through there. Yeah, good luck with that, Thomas. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to get each of these helical gears right in the middle, you know, of where they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to be a little to the left or a little to the right. Actually, this one is a little to that side. If I bring it back in, that's perfect, but still a little bit to this side. So now there was only one screw in here, which means that can go on at a slight angle, which means it can mess up our spinning a bit. Was also too high, which caused us to bow. Look, whatever I do, I've got to stop this from failing. And then I think I should clean everything up. I really think I should take that off. Without taking this off, I'm never going to be able to feel if the rest of this shaft is going smoothly. God, that was much easier than I feared. There we go, holy moly. At least that's not bent. It's still binding really hard. That, you know, that's binding really hard somewhere. Okay, where is that binding? Yeah. After wrestling with that Chinese engine, I've just taken this Japanese engine for a blast. It's the first blast of summer. The car is looking... Now, what are you doing? He's slinking away guiltily because this has just been set up, polished and cleaned to sell. Why to sell? And now it's got, you know, cat footprints all over it. But why to sell is because the Tesla just, you know, for an old duffer like me, who doesn't know where he is or what he's doing half the time, the Tesla's like, well, Thomas, this is where you are, and this is where you're going, and this is what you're doing, and, you know, put your hands back on the steering wheel, we're about to crash. Whereas this car doesn't tell you where you are or what you're doing, you need the police to tell you that. but it puts such a smile on my face. And when I think about the engineering that's gone into that, I mean, both of them, that's an amazing piece of engineering in its own right. But when I think about the engineering that's gone into this, I think what those Japanese engineers would think of the Chinese engine, I think they'd think it was pretty much broken, worn out on delivery. Don't even think about it. You've already slept all over the soft top and put your paws from one end to the other. Yeah, that's right. So does this happen to any of you guys? I needed a tool that could get behind there that could do that, because this was too big. So I found this, wasn't the right size, but I've ground it out. That was a sort of a 7-minute job. But then I turned around and dropped this. Finding that was a 15-minute job. Lights on and off, opening the garage, moving a whole lot of stuff. Found it, it had gone up on a shelf behind something. Great, went back to the machine, patting my pockets. Oh no, where's my electronic key? Can't get out of the house, can't drive the car out of the house, can't do anything without the electronic key. Had no possible need or use to be, for that. No idea where it is. All because I wanted to make something to fit this.